you turned 40 last year, and most people turn 40 with a bit of a somber kind of feeling about that milestone. It feels like a really big point in one's life. You turn 40 and you decide to get in the best shape of your life and get ripped to high heaven. How on earth did you where did the idea come about that I'm going to get absolutely shredded before I turn 40 and I'm going to document it for social media? And what's it been like, since being in that shape?
Well, I've always been interested in fitness. I got my first gym membership when I was 15, and I've always been into that and I've always been interested in it. And I've always been in pretty good shape, but I knew with 40 around the corner, that's a big milestone. I think for a lot of people, that's like, oh my gosh, it's all downhill from here. And I wanted to make it a moment that I celebrated. So I thought about this a long time out. I was thinking about this like 6 months before my 40th birthday of like, I want to be in the best shape of my life by 40 for two reasons. One being like, this is that big milestone and it's 40, and I want to show what's possible with hard work, with dedication, and with the like just following the instructions. I worked with an incredible fitness trainer and nutritionist named AJ Sims. You can look him up on Instagram. He's at Cement Factory. He's the best, and he's worked with so many of
You
the
say
biggest WWE.
at Cement Factory.
Yes, at Cement Factory, because
What
he's
a
getting you all,
handle.
jacked like you're made of cement. But he's gotten a ton of WWE superstars in the best shape of their life. So I knew like that's the person to start with. But I knew that with some dedication and with Nick just following these instructions, I could do it. And I wanted to prove to myself that this was possible. I wanted to prove to myself that I could say no to the temptations of the potato chips or the ice cream or the pizza or candy or all of these things that I love so much. And I also wanted to show other people that this was possible. People that were either turning 40, maybe just had turned 40, or people that were a few years away from that, like, oh, 40 is not so scary. And then number two, I was about to be a dad. So my birthday is May 19th. Our daughter was supposed to be born. The due date was May 21st. So I'm like, I'm going to redefine what it means to have a dad bod. So it was that idea as well of like the dad bod doesn't have to be what society has told us a dad bod looks like. A dad bod can be this just because I worked out and I ate well. And I also wanted to set this example for my daughter of like,
Mm.
I'm not being selfish because I'm spending time in the gym. I'm in fact being selfless because I want to be around when she turns 80 years old.
Yeah, that's an ambition. That's going to make you. How old will you be then? 120?
I'll be 120, yeah, and
And
still
still
running around
podcasting.
lifting weights.
Well, look, I mean, by the time this goes out, I'll be 6 months to 40. So, I need to, I mean, it weighed on my mind when the new year began. We were talking off air about I'm going to WrestleMania this year because I've never done it, and if I'm ever going to do it, it's in my 40th year. That's a fun thing. That's a bucket list thing. But much more important for me is actually getting in shape, but also not just getting in shape in terms of physical shape, but actually trying to get a handle on the things that I don't think are great about my life. So, bad sleep, addiction to technology, focusing on things that aren't that important, like social media followers or whatever it may be, and money, just trying to actually go into my 40th year with a better mindset really for the future. And I think it's great that kind of you're doing what you're doing and showing that. And I want to encourage anyone who's listening who's around about our age. But 40 is just the beginning. We're just getting started. This is the start now. It's
Well,
exciting.
and look, whatever your goal is, just know that it's every day. Like, just know that it's a little bit every single day. You're not going to get into the best shape of your life just by snapping your fingers. But I'm a big believer in like setting a big goal, whether that for me was getting in the best shape of your life, or I ran my first Spartan race last year, or like if it's something for you, if you've always wanted to write that book, what better time than now? If you always wanted to run that marathon, what better time than now? Like, set a realistic goal of like, all right, I could do that in 6 months or a year, but then I got to reverse engineer that back to where I'm at right now. Okay, well, then what does that mean is step one right now? And then what's step two after that? And so on and so on. And I think that too many people just look at the finish line, go, that's too far away. I can't do that. Instead of going, you got to take one step before you can take the next one, and so on.